Hey everyone, welcome back to CK Cycles. Well, I've ran into a problem with my 77 XT500. As you can see there, I stripped out one of the bolts to the oil pan on the bike. Ever since I rebuilt the top end of the engine, I've been very purposeful about dropping the oil pan, cleaning out the screen, and just checking for any sediment that might be in there as evidence that something went wrong with the rebuild. But so far, there hasn't been any. Well, I recently did an oil change, put the oil pan back on, didn't pay attention to torquing the bolts down correctly, and I stripped that bolt out. And so it's time to make a repair. In order to make the repair, I'd like to be able to lay the bike down on its right side. In order to do that, I'm going to remove the seat, the fuel tank, and I'm also going to remove the battery. I just don't want any potential fluids like fuel or battery acid or anything to leak out and leak around while the bike is laying down on its right side for me to make the repair. I laid down a few tires here just as a cushion to allow the bike to rest on while I completed the repair on the underside of the crankcase. I ended up tearing the gasket here, which was unfortunate since that was going to delay my repair. I had not purchased a gasket in preparation for this and was hoping to save the original one, but I guess it's time for a new gasket. This is the kit I purchased in order to repair the threads. It came with all the tools necessary to do the repair, along with several inserts. First step, drill out the current hole to accept larger threads for the insert. I put a piece of tape around my drill bit, hoping that it would not go too deep. This is not a through and through hole, and so I wanted to be sure that I stopped well before I got through and into the engine case cavity. Next step is to cut some new threads with the tap that is provided here to accept the insert. With the threads cut, it's now time to install the thread insert using this insert tool. There's a small tab on the inside of the insert that indexes into the tool so that you can adequately spin the thread in. As I turned the insert into the hole, I came upon quite a bit of resistance. I think that this was due to a lack of thread depth that I had cut into the hole. I tried to remove the insert after it seated fully at the bottom, but I ended up breaking off of the indexing tab, and so the insert at that point could not be taken out of the hole with the tool. As you can see here, the insert was well above the surface of the engine case, and that would not do. So I pried up the edge of the insert and then grabbed onto a pair of pliers and pulled the insert out so that it could be replaced. I decided to tap the hole just a little bit deeper, so hopefully the insert could fully seat. The next step is to knock the indexing tab off of the insert so that the bolt can fully seat down into the hole. I decided to check if a bolt could thread into the hole first before knocking the indexing tab off. Felt pretty good. I think this was a good repair. The bike is now ready to have the oil pan reinstalled, but since I forgot to order a gasket, in the shop it goes for a few days for the new gasket to show up. I decided to torque my bolts down in 2 steps, torquing on the bolt with the thread repair first, going very slow to see how it felt. Repair complete.